Hey everybody, I figured I'd do a quick video. It's been a long day. We've been so busy today. Um, so this is me, living color, no makeup, looking like I need a glass of wine, a shower, and a massage. Not necessarily in those orders, but need those. I just wanted to take a minute and say thank you to everyone that subscribes and that watches the videos I put out, and to give you a bit of an update on our IVF journey. So today has been a big day. We have secured our dates, done our deposits, and through a 3-hour internet, email, WhatsApp combo, have ironed out and decided on our donor, assuming that we will need a donor, but we're going to do a tandem cycle, and hopefully everything works out. We have our backup for our donor, and I didn't know how I felt about how the process went with the picking of the donor, because the ones we had picked out initially, because we had to push our dates back by a month, the donors we picked out were already reserved and unavailable for us. So that was quite disheartening. Then we started looking for alternate donors, and that was very, very challenging, because what took us the better part of a couple months to do, we streamlined into one day. And then with the wonderful guidance of our coordinator, we were directed to a donor who we had seen, but we weren't quite sold on. I don't know. From the minute I saw her picture 2 months ago in the database, she just kind of popped out at me, and there was just something that said, yeah. But because I had this whole checklist of items and things and criteria, I was sticking to the list. So I never mentioned this one donor who just kind of popped out like the first thing I saw 2 months ago. I never mentioned that to my husband, never mentioned that to my coordinator. And after going through trying to find replacements today, my coordinator reached back out to me and says, yeah, so this donor here would be great for you, blah, 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 blah. And as I'm reading it, I'm like, oh, okay. And then I go back through my pictures, and I'm like, I didn't pick this donor. And I showed it to baby, and I was like, what do you think? And so he read through and looked, and he's like, yeah. I was like, yeah? He said, yeah. And I was like, okay. And I didn't feel conflicted about it. I reached back out to my coordinator, Sergio, and I was like, you know what? Okay. My husband says, yeah. And I'm okay with it. And after reading her bio again and all of her specs, she hit every marker that I wanted, with the exception of one thing, which I'll just have to get over. I have this thing about height. I'm not very tall, so I just kind of wanted a donor who might have had taller genetics. But anyway, I'm content. So we picked her, and we've gotten everything ironed out, and we have a phone consult with the cryobanks and a couple of the other technical people at the clinic. We have a phone conference tomorrow morning with them, and things are just kind of starting to roll along. And now I have these heightened anxieties and concerns. I mean, given my age, that's a big concern. I am menopausal. My husband has no children, and he's very optimistic, and I've been optimistic all this time, and now I'm having these emotional doubts, the what ifs. What if it's not successful? What if we don't manage to have a child together. He's the most amazing man on earth, and he's just like, it's going to be okay either way. But I would feel so broken and devastated if I failed as a woman to give this man who has given me everything I can imagine in the way of happiness and loyalty and dedication and love, if I fail to give him a child. And yeah, I said failed, and there's a lot on my shoulders, and I'm sure women that have gone through and are going through what I'm going through can relate on some or every level. I would feel utterly broken. And so I'm just kind of sitting in my car right now, videoing, trying to get out of my own head and just remain optimistic and looking at all of the great things. So we've got our accommodation squared away. We've got our deposits and our date squared away. We've got our donor squared away. We've got all of the steps in place and our protocol, and everything is in order. Everything that can be in order is in order. And so now the thing that's out of order is my mental state, my emotions about it. When I was venturing on this journey to expand my family, when I was a single woman, I didn't have these sorts of anxieties and emotional wranglings because it was just me. If I failed to have a child, the only person at the end of the day that would be disappointed would be me. The only person's emotions and feelings that I had to take into account were mine. That's different now when you're in a loving relationship with the most amazing man that could ever walk into your life, and now it's heavy. Now it's bigger than I could have ever imagined. I mean, I've traveled the world and the globe and gone to different countries in pursuit of prolonging my fertility and resolving my issues. And it was arduous, yes, but it was just me, and yet it was lonely and it was solitary. And I always wished that I had someone with me, but it was okay that I didn't, I guess. Now that I have that wonderful person with me on this journey, supporting me, encouraging me, now I'm worried, because if anything goes wrong, and the law of averages with IVF is that a lot of things can go wrong. The law of averages is more is going to go wrong than go right in most of our cases. And so now it's like, if anything goes wrong, or when anything goes wrong, I have his emotions and his disappointment that would just rip my heart out. Like, it would just rip my heart out. And so now I'm just kind of getting out of my own head about it. And yeah, and I just wanted to video about it and just kind of give you a real view into my mind and my emotions in my day as our journey proceeds and progresses. So yeah, there's that. It's not very much technical stuff to this video. It's not very much information that could probably benefit a lot of people. Maybe there is, but it's just my emotions and my thoughts as usual. And I just want to share them with you guys. I'm elated, and I'm happy, and I'm excited, and I'm nervous. And, we've budgeted, and we have planned, and we have strategized, and we're sacrificing and saving and spending. And it's the process, and I'm okay with the process. I just am trying to resolve myself to telling myself what I tell everyone all the time, which is that I'm doing it right, and that there's no magic formula, and that it's okay, and to be kinder to myself. And yeah, it's hard to take my own medicine some days. But I just wanted to video and share this with you guys, and let you know that I'll be back in the next day or two and update you on where my headspace is and what's going on that day. All right, well, as always, from my heart to yours, be good to yourselves. Love you. Love you. Bye.